Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Zom Slays. Welcome on in, my friends. Happy Monday. This is episode 280 of Music Mondays podcast. Hope you had a good week. Hope you're chilling, my friends. I hope you're vibing. But let's get right into it. This is our, I believe, second episode of June, which is actually very exciting. We're starting to get into the trenches of summer, my friends, for sure. Definitely starting to get into the trenches of summer, which is super exciting. But also, this is episode 280, which is pretty sweet, right? Finally out of the 270 episodes, so crunching up to almost 300 Music Mondays podcast episodes, man. Only 20 to go, which is pretty fucking crazy. But let's get into it. So you guys know the drill. We're gonna talk some weekly recap stuff. We're gonna talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next couple weeks. We're gonna talk recruiting, and then we're gonna talk some exclusive stuff. So let's get into it, my friends. First off is some weekly recap stuff. So, what'd you miss at Music Mondays over the course of the last week? If you haven't been tuning into things, per usual, Music Money's basic logo t-shirts are available and in stock right now. We still have smalls, mediums, and larges. If you'd like to purchase one of those, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send it to DM, send us an email. We'd be happy to get that shipped out for you. $20 including shipping, of course, United States shipping only, just so you guys don't get completely destroyed by shipping costs, right? So definitely let us know if you'd like to purchase one of those. And then, of course, heading into every single Tuesday following the live show, you can catch the full high-quality version of the Music Mondays podcast over there on Patreon. So if you want to go clip it, download it, you want to go rewatch it or anything like that in its full quality, that is available on the Music Mondays Patreon every single Tuesday following the live show. So huge shout out to all the Music Mondays Patrons, man. You guys are fucking wonderful. Much love. Let's see. So heading into a little bit deeper Tuesday, if you want to submit for next week's episode of the Music Mondays podcast or any podcast, submissions do open every single Tuesday following the live show. So again, if you want to submit for next week, episode 281, submissions will be live tomorrow, June 9th, 2026. So keep that in mind. Make sure you follow us on social media and stay up to date. That was Tuesday, per usual, pretty stacked Tuesday. Heading into Wednesday, SoundCloud Sunday submissions do open every single Wednesday. So if you're interested in getting a spot on our weekly SoundCloud playlist that does drop every single Sunday, definitely follow us on social media and stay up to date when all that stuff goes live. But again, SoundCloud Sunday submissions do open every single Wednesday. And then, of course, heading deeper into Wednesday, we do some Music Mondays audio podcast promo because the audio version of the show does drop every single Thursday if you miss the Monday live show. That's Wednesday. Heading into Thursday, episode 279 of the Music Mondays podcast is available right now on all audio platforms. That's Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all that good jazz. So again, definitely go check that out and go show that some love. Huge shout out to anybody that did submit and tune in to episode 279. You guys are fucking wonderful, man. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let's see here. So heading deeper into Thursday, a brand new YouTube upload is live right now on the channel. Taken from last week's show, I spoke about how original ideas can kind of make you have a little bit more fun creatively, right? That was a segment that I spoke about last week during a Sam's rap submission, actually. And it got me on a tangent as to where I think, original ideas and kind of creating stuff from the hip can actually be really fun. So definitely go check that out. That segment is available on the Music Mondays YouTube channel right now. Definitely go check that out and go show that some love. Make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already, by the way. We are, I think, 5 subs away from 350. We do upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazzes over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists and the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. So, let's see here. That was Thursday. Heading into Friday, Music Mondays radar check number 15 is actually live on all of our social media. So that is our month-to-month segment where you guys kind of have the opportunity to tag a creative that you think should be shown some love here on Music Mondays, right? If you want to see us do an interview with them or a review or reaction or anything like that. So it's more of a community kind of segment. So definitely go check that out and go show that some love. That is available on all of our social media. Then, of course, heading deeper into Friday, a brand new article is live by the homie Blank Thought, Music Money's producer and staff writer. They came through with a review of the new movie, The Back Rooms, which I think actually, you guys know that we've been doing a lot of like movie segments recently when it comes down to articles and stuff, but I feel like the Back Rooms one is actually really sick just because that's like, you know, that's some rare internet lore right there that I feel like a lot of us kind of grew up on, right? So, Blank Thought definitely describes it pretty well. So definitely go check out that segment. That is available right now on the Music Mondays homepage. So definitely go check that out and go show that some love. That was Friday. Pretty stacked Friday. Heading into Saturday. Episode 279 of the Music Mondays podcast is available right now on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. So again, if you prefer the YouTube version of the show, you just want to go throw it on in the background, or you want to go clip it, record it, or anything like that, that is available every single Saturday on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. And of course, like I always say, make sure you subscribe and make sure you go show the Music Mondays YouTube channel some love, my friends, because we do upload 2 times per week per usual. That was Saturday. Heading into Sunday, SoundCloud Sunday of volume 242 is available right now on the Music Mondays SoundCloud. That was curated by me, and the cover art was also done by me this week. Huge shout out to anybody that did submit to SoundCloud Sunday. You guys are fucking wonderful. Thank you. Like I've been saying, man, SoundCloud Sunday has been bumping recently. You know, randomly it'll come in waves where SoundCloud Sunday will just randomly start to be super popular again, right? Which I think is super fucking sick. You know what I mean? Like really fucking sick. So again, if you want to submit for SoundCloud Sunday, submissions do open every single Wednesday. And a huge shout out to anybody that did submit and support SoundCloud Sunday volume 242. You guys are fucking wonderful. Thank you. So, let's see here. That was your weekly recap, my friends. I believe that's everything. That's everything like super major that happened at Music Mondays over the course of the last week or so. So, that's that. So that takes us into today, Monday, June 8th, 2026. So, let's see what's next. Let's talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next couple weeks, right? So, like I've been saying and keeping you guys updated with our major event upcoming, which is Cyberfest 3, right? So, Cyberfest being our online URL festival, that's been a big deal, right? Especially Cyberfest 3. I think this one is definitely going to be one of our best. So, realistically, what everything looks like is a few dates are being decided, and we're still talking with artists to see like what kind of dates work best for everybody, right? So, usually with events like that, a lot of the trouble doesn't even really come from like hosting the event. A lot of it comes from figuring out dates, right? And make sure that you kind of try to accommodate everybody, right? So that's being worked on in the background. And then of course, we're definitely in the middle of kind of bringing back a lot of our older segments, right? Feature Friday, Workshop Wednesday, all that stuff over there on the YouTube channel. And then of course, a lot of our playlist stuff when it comes down to Underground Classics, the monthly, so many other things over there on SoundCloud as well. And we're going to be focusing more on exclusives and all that good jazz. So lots of major stuff when it comes down to our content, right? And then outside of that, a lot of your monthly and weekly stuff, like I always say, will be staying the same. A lot of the podcast stuff will be staying the same. The playlist stuff will be staying the same. Articles every Friday. You guys know the drill. All that stuff will be staying the same. But we're trying to incorporate a lot more of our older segments back into the schedule, right? So, outside of that, I don't think anything else super crazy coming up. Like I always mention, I'll be updating you guys weekly here on the show every single Monday. And then, of course, make sure you follow us on social media for any kind of emergency announcements or anything like that, right? So that's what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next couple weeks. Definitely going to be a solid summer for us. Outside of that, I do want to speak on recruiting. Speaking of Music Mondays, per usual, we are recruiting and we are on the hunt for all of our Music Mondays staff roles. So again, if you are a writer, journalist, curator, designer, you want to do short form content, you want to do long form content, or any type of content for Music Mondays, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. We'd be happy to have that conversation with you, my friends. Again, like I said, we're looking for all of our staff roles. But resume preferred, but I mean definitely not required if you're sort of new to the underground independent media space and you'd like us to kind of show you the ropes and get your feet wet. That also works well. So that's no problem. But again, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email if you'd like to have a conversation about joining the Music Mondays staff team. Let's see. think outside of that, one last thing we got to go through is exclusives. Yes. So, Music Mondays is on the hunt for exclusives. Again, if you have an unreleased track that you like to have hosted and promoted on the Music Monday SoundCloud, and of course across all of our social media, or completely free, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. And again, we're only interested in unreleased material, so feel free to do whatever you want with the track afterwards. You want to go put it on DSPs or YouTube or anything like that, that's completely fine, but we're only interested in the SoundCloud version, so definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. And of course, same goes for YouTube as well. If you like to have a music video, a visual, even just some audio hosted on the Music Mondays YouTube channel of over 300 subscribers, and of course, promoted across all of our social media for completely free, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. We'd be happy to get that hosted up for you, my friends. So, that's that. I don't think anything else crazy on the agenda this week. I have a few discussion topics coming up for sure. That I want to hit, but tonight we have a pretty stacked show, so I think we'll just head over to Twitter and see what's cracking over there. So, actually, there was a topic that I forgot to write down, which I'm going to do right now. There was a topic just recently where I was like, you know what, that's actually solid. But yeah, we have a few interesting discussion segments coming up here for sure. For sure, my friends. So, like I said, let's go bop over to Twitter and let's go see what we're looking like this week. So, per usual, tweets are always in the same format every single week, and they always read. Artists and creative submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays live on June 8th, 2026 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/ZonPlays, which is here and now. Like I said, submissions are always in the same format, and tweets will always read like this, but the only thing that does change is the date, so make sure that you're submitting for a show that hasn't happened yet. You guys would be surprised how many submissions we get for shows that happened, a couple years ago, a couple months ago, you know what I mean? So make sure that you're double checking the dates per usual. And then, of course, if you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creations, drop your links in portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. So contrary to Renee Music Mondays, we've reacted to pretty much everything here on the show. Everything from obviously music, to vocals, to instrumentals, to remixes, to acoustic covers, to DJ sets, to unreleased, to photography, to videography, to merch, to so much stuff, you know what I mean, like so much stuff. So if you feel like you deserve some spotlight here on the Music Mondays podcast, definitely drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. Welcome Candela, I hope you're well. Welcome on in. Happy Monday. I hope you're well. Get off my lawn, aka let's fucking get it, baby. But yeah, per usual, we do have a 3-hour show limit, so you guys know the drill. Some would argue that a 3-hour show limit is still a little bit long, but definitely not as long as some of our earlier shows where we used to do, 5-6 hours, which was pretty fucking gnarly. But again, just keep that in mind. We do have a 3-hour show limit. And then, of course, submissions are free. They always have been free, and they always will be free. But the only thing that we do ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible. Again, submissions are free. They always have been free, and they always will be free. But the only thing that we do ask is that you follow us on Twitter before you do submit, because that not only helps grow our platform and spread our message, but then you pay respect to everybody else that does wait to have their submissions reacted to every single week here on the show. And then, of course, you gain access to a wide, wonderful network of underground creatives. So, I mean, kind of a win-win, right? So, outside of that, one other thing that you do got to note is that Patreon subscriber submissions are played first every single week here on the show. So again, if you're subscribed to the Music Mondays Patreon at any tier, whether that be basic, advanced, or premium, you gain access to a whole bunch of goodies over there, including early access content. But what you do gain access to is the Music Mondays Fast Pass, which again, for the duration that you're pledged to the Music Mondays Patreon, allows for all of your submissions to be played first every single week here on the show, and also guarantees that your submissions do get played, right? Because sometimes we get upwards of like 20-30 submissions, and there's just, not enough time in a 3-hour show to get to all of them, right? So that also guarantees that your submission actually gets fucking played, right? So, again, no pressure, but huge shout out to all the Music Mondays Patreons, past and present. You guys are fucking wonderful. Let's see. Outside of that, one other thing that we do got to note is that submissions do close about a couple hours before the show starts, so keep that in mind. You have roughly, submissions open every single Tuesday, so I'd say like 6.5 or so days to get your submissions in, right? So again, a good rule of thumb is that if the show is already live, submissions are definitely closed. So that way we have a consistent kind of organic order going on here, right? So, and then of course, that way it doesn't really get to a gray area where somebody has a late submission and then they cut in front of somebody who is, waiting on their submission. So it just gets into like a whole thing. So again, keep that in mind. Submissions do close about a couple hours before the show starts. So just keep that in mind. Outside of that, the only thing that we do got to mention is we do have a how to submit to the Music Mondays podcast guide on our YouTube channel that just got updated for 2026. I kind of go into a little bit more detail on why we take submissions on Twitter, how the Music Mondays podcast and the platform came to be, and things like that. So if you want any more detail on the show, definitely go check that out because that just got updated for 2026. That's a banger. But outside of that, let's see how many Patreons we do have tonight. So we have Candela coming up first. We got TDG. Let's see. We got Ghost is number 3. We got Jordan. Patreon's showing out again tonight, man. Patreon's fucking showing out again, man. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay. So, kicking off the show with Candela Brum. Multi-genre talented artist came through with a track titled Join Together official music video. Now, Candela reached out to me privately and asked if it was okay to share the submission. I said absolutely. I think the message here is really solid. So their caption reads here, greetings Music Mondays community and staff. I want to call attention to the problem of IDD abuse, which is often being swept under the rug. Please take a moment to watch and read the video description and share if you feel led to do so. Thank you. So great caption there. I'm not even going to begin to explain this because I think the video justifies it pretty well and kind of breaks it down way better than I ever could. And then, of course, we'll kind of break down the track and kind of go through it, right? So let's pop this open a new tab here. Give it a quick little pause, Rooney. Let's see here. And topics like this, you know, when people bring topics like this to me, I'm always like on board with it. You know what I mean? You know, there's so much going on in the world, right? I mean, I feel like so many other topics, like, you know, Candela said, really do get swept under the rug. You know, like there's so many things that deserve a proper amount of attention. So if we can give our little corner of the internet some attention over here, I think it's great. You know what I mean? But let's see here. So before we even dive into this, Join Together official music video, and the description is fantastic. I think the description kind of like it really goes through the message properly, right? So per usual, every submission will be linked in the YouTube description, so make sure you go check this out and take time to really dive into this because they went all out on the information for sure. You know what I mean? For sure. You're right. I got you, TDG. No worries. Let's switch back over here. So, anyways, you guys know the drill. Like I said, make sure you go check out this description here, and make sure you kind of you know, take time to dive into this. Like I said, you know what I mean. That's definitely like one of those ones where it's full of information. You know what I mean? Full of information for sure. So. Regardless, enough yapping. Let's get into it. Candela Brum, Join Together, official music video. Let's go. We got Bird in chat. Welcome on in. Happy Monday. Let's get it, baby. And TDG, I hope you're well.
Too many innocent people trapped in circumstance without a voice.
The quality is crazy here, by the way.
A system built on silence because they can't speak up or make a choice. We're all God's children when we are born. Our legal system needs reform. Everyone deserves proper care. We need to make more people aware. Too easy for them to fall through the cracks when it's no one's job to keep track. This is a cycle we need to break. Watch over these precious ones for love's sake. Join together, stand for those at risk of harm.
Gnarly. The writing is so good.
For those at risk of harm in their own homes, champion the helpless ones who suffer all alone. We must be responsible for people who are vulnerable. Step up and let it be known. God calls all children His own. Join together. Join together. Stand and be a voice.
Crazy.
Speak
Crazy.
up for God's children who don't have that choice.
Well done. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many, there's so many like really positive things about this that I really like. Right? Obviously, with the message, I think that's huge, but the video doesn't take away from the message either, right? And neither does the song. The song's like very stern and serious, and like it has a good like um, it has a good tone for you to take it seriously, right? But yeah, man, this is a tough one, right? I think anybody who know someone with an intellectual disability, or maybe somebody in your family, or maybe you yourself, right? You know, there's already so many issues around, dealing with that sort of thing. And this is kind of even, deeper in what's under the surface, right? So this is a very like serious kind of topic, and I like the way that Candela Brum kind of went out of their way to speak about this, right? I think those things are like super important, especially like in today's day and age, right? Because kind of like I was saying earlier, like um, there's so much going on in the world that certain topics and things get swept under the rug, and like no matter how niche, or like no matter like what the minority, you know, they deserve that space too, right? So well done in that aspect for sure. Um, but yeah, let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So we're gonna talk about three things here. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, and we'll talk about the official music video for Join Together. So, um, instrumental. I mean, simple, straight to the point. But like I said, that's kind of like the idea behind a topic like this, because you don't want some like crazy, distracting sort of song to like take away from the message. I mean, you could shape it in that way, but I feel like the way that this instrumental was kind of played out, fit perfectly. You know what I mean? So, this is one of those things where the instrumental kind of, again, like I always say, like really sets the tone in a good way. You know, so instrumental makes fantastic per usual. I mean, we've reacted to probably like two or three, maybe four Candela Brum songs, I'd say, so far. And all of their mixes have been fantastic. You know what I mean? So this one definitely no exception. Really well done. Nothing super clashy to overbearing. Main thing is the levels are great. Doesn't take away from the vocals or anything like that. So instrumental mix right where it needs to be for sure. Instrumental Shining Star. I mean, the melody really gives it this like angelic sort of like tone. You know what I mean? Um, although I do like the structure though, because the structure has a lot of build to it. You know. Mm, yeah, man, I'd say structure. I feel like structure is really underrated here, but also like it has just a good build. You know what I mean? And it makes the song like very passionate. You know what I mean? So instrumental Shining Star, definitely a structure for sure. Um, let's talk vocals. So vocal mix. Great. You know what I mean? Really great. Like I said for the instrumental, we've reacted to, like I said, I don't know, probably two or three Candela Rum songs on the show, and all of their mixes have been fantastic. You know what I mean? The mixes are just fucking right on the money, truthfully. And this one being a little bit more melodic and definitely taking like a little bit more heavier singing route, um, the mix had to be on point. You know what I mean? Like the mix absolutely had to be on point. So I think they nailed it for sure. Nothing, like I said, super clashy to overbearing or anything that like really would, I would switch up here. Not really. You know what I mean? Definitely not. So vocal mix definitely solid. Vocal Shining Star. I mean, it's got to be the writing. It'd be a shame to not say the writing. Although I love the flow and delivery and cadence here, definitely. But man, I think writing and lyrics are just too important on this one. You know what I mean? I think writing and lyrics are just too damn important on this track for sure. So yeah, yeah, writing and lyrics for sure, definitely. So instrumental solid, definitely the structure. Vocal solid, definitely the writing lyrics. Let's talk about the official video for Join Together. So again, much like the instrumental, you didn't want to do too much with the video to like kind of take away from the message, right? And I feel like something simple but really stern like this really does it justice. You know, because not only is it like a good lyric video, but there's all sorts of like small messages kind of slid in there and stats and facts and things like that. Just important shit, you know? So I feel like the way that this was edited together is great. Um yeah, Shining Star, I want to say is the concept. I do like the concept a lot, but I think the editing is really going to take the cake for me. You know what I mean? Simple, straight to the point, but again, doesn't take away from the message. You know what I mean? And I think that's the biggest point about, songs with, messages with intentions and things like that is like you don't want to be doing too much as to where it kind of takes away from the message, right? And this is like the perfect fine line of like getting the message across in like a really really fucking solid way. So the editing definitely takes the cake here for me, for sure. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Candela Brown. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go sub to their YouTube channel, by the way. They're only 7 subs away from 30, so make sure you go show them some love on the tube. And of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. They are only 6 followers away from 90, so make sure you go show them some love on the Bird at my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to Music Money's YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 350 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazzes over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Well done. That was a fucking great submission. Thank you so much for playing this. Together we can fight a beast. Like, absolutely. 100% Candela Brown. Absolutely 100%. That was my pleasure, for sure. Absolutely, for sure. Anytime, like I said, we can take like our little corner of the internet and kind of like show some serious topics, some love is always a good thing for me. You know what I mean? Like I'm always down with that. 100%. No question, my friend. No question. But let's continue on. So we left off with Candela Brum. Let's go on to our next Patreon tonight. The homie TDG, aka Till the Grave, a very, very talented hip hop artist and producer, came through with a SoundCloud track, actually. Okay. On Fairy Tales, proudly mixed by me. One of my best. A song about needing space from the world. One of my best. That's some heavy lifting coming from TDG, man. Okay. So you guys know the drill, man. For those of you that are frequent viewers of the Music Money's podcast, you know TDG's grind recently, especially in 2026, has been fucking stellar. They've been improving from all angles. So it's been a really, really fucking fun time to see TDG progress. And we got TDG in the chat. Welcome on in. Like I said, I hope you're well. But this is from their unreleased project Fairy Tales. I'll Be in Touch. Prod and mix by TDG. Let's go. Fucking get it, baby. Oh shit.
I'm alone, cause it feel like it. I'll be back in touch when I feel like it. I'm alone, cause it feels like it. I'll be back in touch when I feel like it. I'm alone, cause it feel like it. I'll be back in touch when I feel like it. I don't ever really deal with it. The ones I love shouldn't have to deal with this. Why do they deal with it? Voices in my head, I wish you were hearing it. Yeah, my fears say I worry too much about what the peers say. So I stay awake, locking gates, delay my fate, portray an image I made in a fake. Hit the brakes, but always crash out. I'm a mess with me, self-medicating, can't find a remedy. There's no potion recipe. I feel like I lost the rest of me, rest in peace. Mama says the stress for me is gonna be the death of me. Time and change, it's a test to see. I'm alone, cause it feels like it. I'll be back in touch when I feel like it. it. I'm alone, cause it feel like it. I'll be back in. I'm
Damn.
alone, I need to get back in touch. Find something I dream and want. But every time I test my luck, I fall flat.
Wow. This one just has such a spooky, scary, sort of serious vibe here. You know what I mean? This one is gonna stand out on this project. I'd say we've reacted to, I don't know, 4 or 5 of the tracks off this project so far, and this one is by far the darkest for sure. But also like very relatable though. You know what I mean? I feel like everybody's definitely felt like this at one point or another for sure. But we'll dive into that here in a second. But let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So we're gonna talk about 3 things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're talking about vocals. Talk about the overall theme of "I'll Be in Touch." Instrumental, love it. Really like good standard TDG production, right? TDG is very good at these like dark trap styles and even some of the more like slower pace stuff. You know, we've seen TDG like do like almost every genre, but they do excel in this dark trap, dark kind of vibe here. They do really well with it. So I love the choice off rip. The instrumental mix is great, especially the intro and outro. Everything flows together really well. Sound selection is great. Everything complements each other. Nothing that I would like really tweak out about here. You know what I mean? I think the instrumental mix is definitely right where it needs to be. So instrumental mix solid for sure. Instrumental shining star. Mm, that sample is crazy though. I don't know, man. There's a few things that I want to pick here. The sample is nuts, but structure's up there for me. And I like the drums a lot. Truthfully, I think we're gonna have to go structure on this one. For sure. I think the intro and outro is really just what got me. You know what I mean? I don't know why. Something about it just made you take the instrumental really serious. You know what I mean? So instrumental shining star, definitely a structure for sure. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. A very regular TDG vocal mix. Nothing that I would like really grab about here either. Levels are good. Quality was good. TDG's been doing a lot of experimenting when it comes to their style and their vocals and things like that. So TDG's always like going up in levels and really trying new shit. So nothing to really gripe about here. You know what I mean? Nothing I would like ultimately switch up. I would say it's a very like standard TDG vocal mix for sure. So vocal mix solid, definitely. Vocal shining star. I feel like it's got to be the writing, right? It almost had this like diary entry sort of feel to it. You know what I mean? It had a very much storytelling diary. It felt like we were walking alongside TDG during this song for sure, or almost like a fly on the wall sort of feeling. So yeah, I definitely think writing and lyrics are just gonna take the cake here for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely structure, vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. So we spoke a little bit about this cover before, but very much album worthy to me. But the one thing that I always point out about this is it does have that good like fairy tale look, but the general audience's logo in the top middle is always my favorite. I don't know why. Something about that was just crafty to me instead of the parental guidance one, right? So I like that part about it, but very much album worthy to me. Overall theme, I'll be in touch. I mean, TDG describes it pretty well here. A song about needing space from the world. And, you know, I feel like, again, we've all been there one way or another. You know what I mean? Like, whether you're going through, you know, a certain life event that kind of leads you to feeling like this, or sometimes you really just do need to get away, and there might not be like a reason for it. You know, sometimes you just feel like that. So, TDG does a really good job like describing their experience with that sort of feeling. You know, because like I said, everybody's gonna be there one way or another. Like sometimes you feel like a burden, or sometimes you just feel like you're doing too much, and you know, TDG even speaks on that a little bit. You know, as to how you know how how does like your family and friends keep dealing with you, you know, even though, you know, you're so emotional all the time and things like that, you know what I mean? So I feel like this is a good, like, really good way to like kind of get that out in the open and really like describe like your experience with that sort of feeling. You know what I mean? Because like I said, like everybody kind of gets that feeling, you know? Yeah, right. I agree. I agree, Kendall. I agree. Soft delivery, but intense feelings. Right, exactly. Very well said. Very well said. I like that for sure. Um, but yeah, another like really raw and emotional, but still very artistic song from TDG for sure. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to homie TDG. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow them on SoundCloud, by the way. They're approaching 1.1K over there on the cloud. And of course, make sure you go follow TDG on Twitter as well. They're only 5 followers away from 170, so make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Buddies YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 350 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get. That was the goal. Love that, TTG. I love that. Yep, you've been killing it lately, my friend, for sure. Nice work. Yep, I agree. Definitely agree. Definitely agree, my friends. So, we left off with the homie TDG. Up next, our third patron of the night, the homie Ghost, a very talented multi-genre producer. Has been in their bag recently, man. We've been going through the unreleased stash with Ghost, right? Whether it be unreleased songs, unreleased instrumentals, you know, they've been really coming through, especially in the summertime, right? I feel like Ghost is an artist who really like excels in the summer. You know, like they really always ramp shit up there in the summer for sure. But this week we have another Dropbox link of some unreleased Laveria's album beat co-prod Adams. Okay, I'm down. I'm down. Pop this open, new tab. All right, let's get into it. Some unreleased goes for the Laverius project. Let's get into it.
It can be so fucking crazy that it must be going to
Very tag too. Holy shit. Oh my. Good lord. Holy shit. My god. My fucking god. And we got Ghost in the chat. Welcome on in, my friend. Happy Monday. Hope you're well. Everything is gonna be experimental as fuck. For sure. This one definitely, like, I feel like this one I could for sure hear Laveri's killing. You know what I mean? This is such like a upbeat Laveri sort of style, and it's just gonna match so well with his voice too. You know what I mean? So this one is definitely like right on par. You know what I mean? Like, wow. Okay. So obviously no vocals, but let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about 2 things here. Talk about the instrumental, talk about the overall theme of this unreleased Laveri's album instrumental. So, instrumental mix. Per usual, fucking fantastic. You know, like I always say, Ghost is a very consistent producer when it comes down to their mix, no matter their style, genre, collab, no collab, loop, no loop, doesn't really matter. Ghost's mix is always fucking solid. 100%, no question. So, not really a shocker there, but something you always want to point out for anybody new here, right? So, instrumental mix very much on point, right? Instrumental Shining Star. this one's a little bit more of a quick one, but I will say the structure's up there for me. You know, the structure, again, fast pace, in your face, slows down a bit, but picks right back up. You could definitely, like, get off on structure here for sure. But truthfully, I think drums are up there for me. You know what I mean? Drums are fucking crazy too. The melodies are up there, but any one of these you could kind of debate, really. But I think my gut is telling me drums, though. Drums were definitely up there for me, man. And I love the sound selection. The patterns are great. I think we're gonna have to go drums, my friends. I think we're gonna have to go drums. Truthfully, you could argue structure here, but yeah, I think drums take the cake for sure. So, instrumental solid, definitely drums. Obviously unreleased, so no cover yet. But overall theme definitely has a good Laverius flavor to it. You know what I mean? But also has a good like motivational sort of feel to it as well. That's why, you know, partially I could see Laverius on this because it does have that good like upbeat like get up and go. It's a very like motivational kind of instrumental, I would say. You know what I mean? So I could see Laverius like really sliding on this, but even on its own as an instrumental, really fucking fantastic. You know what I mean? That's why I picked the drums. The drums just really shine here for sure. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Homie Ghost. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Ghost on Twitter, by the way. Ghost is only 6 followers away from 520, so make sure you go show him some love, all the bird at my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. Or no, 50. Sorry. We're about 5 away. We do upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Let's get it, baby. Another crazy submission out of Ghost, man. Another fucking crazy submission out of Ghost. Holy shit. My God. I agree, Kendall. I agree. Ghost fucking killed that one. But our last and certainly not least patron of the night, the homie Jordan, a multi-genre talented artist and producer, came through with a track titled "Do You Reply to the Automated Drive-Thru?" Dude, okay, so Jordan, being one half of the duo Dead Lighters, released a recent project titled "Poetry of the Lesser Gods 2." We reacted to one of the tracks last week. I think we've only reacted to like 1 or 2 of these. But one thing that I love about this project is the titles. The titles are fucking fantastic. You know what I mean? So hold on. Let's go pop this open in a new tab and let's check this out here. And you're very welcome, Ghost. You're very welcome, my friend. You're very welcome, and thank you for your submission. But love this title for a track. I don't know why. Something about it is just I've always been a fan of some of like the longer titles for some reason. But they have to be like clever, you know what I mean? Like you can't just jumble some words together. And this one's funny, right? Do you reply to the automated drive-through message or not? You know what I mean? Like one of those. It's just one of those like specific ones, right? But like I said, Jordan being one half of the duo Dead Lighters, a production group, came through with another track of their recent project, Poetry of the Lesser Gods 2. I don't even remember what track we did. I know we did Eyeball, and what one? I sorry I waved at your baby, now it's crying. I think we did tracks. I think we did track 8. Yeah. I think so. But this week we're doing track 6. Let's get into it. Cover's crazy. Very retro. So trippy. So groovy. Oh my god. Very well done and so well placed. I agree, my friend. I agree. Wow. This one just took me right back into like the retro sort of 80s, but with a more modern sort of vibe, right? Because you can make like older sounding music, but in a more modern sort of tone, right? Like doesn't necessarily mean you have to use older sounds, right? That's why like lo-fi hip hop does so well now, you know. Um, but this one just ticks all the boxes, man. Wow, really well done. And this is such a great duo again that we've had the pleasure of reacting to for man, probably well over 2 years at this point. Um, so to see them come together on like a project like this and like what we've heard so far has been fucking gnarly. You know what I mean? Has been absolutely fucking gnarly. So, um, let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So, this was track 6. Do you reply to the automated drive-through message or not? And I don't know. Do you? I don't know. I never did. I definitely never did. Um, but let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. Obviously no vocals here, so we're gonna talk about two things. We're talking about the instrumental, and we're talking about the overall theme of this track. So, um, instrumental mix, really solid. You know, especially all things considered and how much stuff is going on. The sound selection is great. Nothing's really clashy or too overbearing. Everything kind of blends well together. Nothing that really like is fighting each other or anything like that. Dead Lighters and Jordan always have a really solid mix though. I mean, it's very rare that we get like an iffy kind of mix from them. Um, I don't think we really ever do, to be honest with you. And like even their demos and their unreleased have been like really fucking solid. You know what I mean? So instrumental mix, great, fantastic. Nothing that I would like really tweak out about there. Definitely not. Instrumental Shining Star on the other hand. Hmm. Structure's up there, man. Although the melodies and the synths are great. All the melodies are great here. But truthfully, it'd be a crime not to say structure, right? I mean, the way everything's structured out, this song basically tells a story without any words. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, I think we're gonna have to go structure. I mean, you could argue melodies. I like the drums too, but I think structure takes the cake for sure. So, instrumental solid, definitely structure. Let's talk theme. So, like I said, track 6 from Poetry of the Lesser Gods 2. This is the sequel to the first Dead Lighters project with the same title, obviously. But let's talk aesthetics. So, Mike Monago is an artist that man, we've been reacting to for quite some time, especially when it comes down to their art though. And their art is fucking crazy. You know, probably one of the most talented artists that I do know when it comes down to all types of artwork, right? Whether it be freehand, physical design, digital stuff, like they're fucking gnarly. You know what I mean? Like Michael really knows what they're doing. But this one's great. It's one of those ones where, you know, the more you look at it, the more detail you see, right? It's definitely one of those for sure. So, truthfully, aesthetics absolutely fucking fantastic. You know, especially with the title like squeezed in right here in like the top left. I feel like that was great too. But just so much detail and so much attention to detail, it just really makes a good like poetry sort of feel, right? So I'd say definitely album worthy for sure, 100%. So aesthetic standpoint, overall theme, you know, the title is more of like a subliminal title for Jordan and Michael, right? And just Dead Lighters themselves. You know, you reply to the automated drive-through message or not? You know, and they're probably sitting in the stew or sitting wherever, and they came up with this, and they just fucking went with it. I mean, everybody has a few songs like that, right? Where the title doesn't necessarily like have anything to do with the song, right? It definitely strikes me as one of those, but still like help the song nonetheless. You know what I mean? Because it makes the song interesting off rip with the title. You know, so well done, my friends. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Jordan and Dead Lighters. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow Jordan on Twitter as well. They're only 2 followers away from 420, so make sure you go show them some love on Deeper Dab, my friends. And of course, every art's featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 350 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and all the good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Well done, my friends. That does conclude all of our Music Mondays Patreons for the night. So huge shout out to all the Music Mondays Patreons, man. You guys are fucking wonderful individuals. Thank you. We appreciate all you guys, past and present. You guys are fucking amazing. But let's see here. So we're about halfway through the show. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we return, we're gonna dive right back into the rest of our community submissions. So make sure you get up, go stretch your legs, maybe go to drink, snack, walk the dog, walk the cat, do whatever you gotta do. And like I said, when we return, we're gonna dive right back into the rest of our community submissions. So don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Music Mondays Podcast, episode 280. I hope you're well, hope you had a good break, hope you're chilling, but let's hop right back over to the rest of our community submission. So, up next, we actually have the homie Sam's Raps, a wonderfully talented hip hop artist that's starting rolling out their recent project, and they came through with a YouTube link. Here's a short one from the new project, also one of the very first songs I wrote for it. Okay. Um, Sam's rap submissions recently have been fucking insane, like bar none, And we have some more unlisted, unreleased, from their project. Wow. Morning routine, prod blank thought, music video. 7 hours ago, brand spanking new, so no description yet or anything like that. Let's go 720. Go full screen. Let's get into it. Some unreleased Sam's raps. Morning routine, prod blank thought. Yeah, this rollout's gonna be sick.
Wake up in a bad mood, puff, put my issues in a trash chute. They don't care about me, but I have you. Tell the truth, only want it if it's absolute. Let me spill my fears from the number 2. I won't stay sharp, my brain gon' fog. I keep my job, I'm never gon' pop. I peek back east with the letterman top. I try routines, but the pain don't stop. Sam's cooking up, though a change gon' come. Born with the tide on my face, on smug, and a will to decide who can stay or come. All alone like a Mad Max, I pick my damn path. Gone in a second like a Snapchat. Gotta get the cheddar, it's a rat trap. Even better, send it to me over Cash App. And when I tap that hoe, I'm a class act. Nice guy, finished last on her back fat. Slipped out the back, I feel it brand new. Ballin' on you bitches in my dress shoes. It's me, you don't gotta play guess who. But here's a damn clue. If it's Colonel in the back with the pool cue, I'm making mustard of you damn fools. Making mustard of you damn fools.
Wow. What the fuck? Wow. Okay. So, Sam's Raps means fucking business on this project. They mean fucking business for sure. I can't believe this is one of the first ones that they wrote for it, because, like, this is crazy. I can't imagine sitting on this, like, what a track this is. Holy fuck. Everything about this is fantastic, too, all the way down to the video. Title's great. I love the lyrics. The production just fits Sam's Raps so well, but man, it's just so much I like about this. But let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about 3 things here. We'll talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the official video or morning routine. So, instrumental, obviously prod blank thought. Fantastic. A very like Sam's Raps type of instrumental. Man, I think we've reacted to these two as a duo for quite some time, but I always forget like how good of a duo they actually are. We spoke a little bit about it last week, right? But them as a duo now is just a different beast. You know what I mean? It's just a different fucking beast. So let's talk instrumental. Instrumental mix, fantastic. Nothing like super clashy, too overbearing, or anything that I would switch up here. Definitely not. I mean, Broad Blank Thought, we've been reacting to just Blank Thought production for, God, again, probably like a good 2-3 years. You know what I mean? And Blank Thought's a very consistent producer, even for any of their demos or unreleased. Absolutely fucking fantastic, for sure. So, instrumental mix right where it needs to be, 100%. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing. Those are great. Instrumental Shining Star, man, I think the melody's crazy, dude. I think the melody really takes the cake. It's just such a serious tone and such a serious, like, just makes you take the song serious instantly, you know? It's very dreamlike, very, like, motivational, you know? So, definitely the melody, for sure. So, instrumental solid, definitely a melody. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, again, fantastic. Sam's Raps, even with their demos and unreleased, their vocal mix is always crisp, clean, clear, straight to the point. Vocals sit nice on the instrumental. Drums cut through nicely. Vocals really match well with the melody. For Sam's Raps style as well, you don't really want to go too crazy with the effects or anything like that. And Sam's Raps really keeps it very crisp and clean, you know? So, and that's what you're getting here in this vocal mix, 100%. So, vocal mix solid, vocal shining star, writing 100%. The writing was crazy. Although, the flow and cadence and delivery is up there for me, but the writing was so fucking passionate and just like, it was just bar after bar after bar and just so descriptive and very like, very raw, very raw and descriptive, I would say, for sure. So vocal shining star, I'd say definitely the writing lyrics, for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody, vocal solid, definitely the writing lyrics. Let's talk about the official video or morning routine. So the video, again, matching the video that we saw last week. If you didn't go check that out, for sure, definitely go watch episode 279. But this one being a little bit more simple, but I feel like for such a serious song, this is a good theme. You know what I mean? And keeping up with the whole like white face sort of theme here and the tuxedo is really fucking solid. And it's more of like a dress suit, but still. Yeah, I think this one being so simple, focused on the song and makes you focus on the song like so heavily. You know what I mean? So that's what I really like about it. Simple, but again, enforces the song a little bit more. You don't really need to distract it, like we said earlier, for a few of our submissions tonight. So I think the editing is gonna take the cake here. Simple, but very like on point, and very much matches the tone of the song, because you just want to listen to what Sam's Rap has to say here. You know what I mean? And with the like adjusting of the tie and shit like that, it's like perfect. You know what I mean? And it really like, again, locks you into the song for sure. So editing, definitely shining star, my friend. Absolutely. Well fucking done. I'm actually very excited for this album for sure. So hopefully we get to react to plenty more when it comes down to this one for sure. But per usual, huge shout out to Sam's Raps. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go sub to their YouTube channel, by the way. They're only one sub away from 100. Get them to that 100, baby. Only one motherfucking sub. And of course, make sure you go follow Sam's Raps on Twitter as well. They're approaching 1.2K over there on the Bird app, so make sure you go show them some love on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 350 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good chats over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So, we left off with the homie Sam's Raps. Up next is the homie Fonzie, a wonderfully talented hip-hop artist, came through with a track titled Wine and Wiggle. Now, it's been a little while since we heard from Fonzie. I'm not sure we've heard from them in 2026. Maybe like once or twice, but not much. Not much. So, let's go see what the homie Fonzie's been up to, man. I'm down. Got a little Bandcamp link as well. Shout out to the Bandcamp homies. All right. Well, let's see here. Spleen 9, Fonzie, Wine and Wiggle. Well, let's get into it. The lyrics and description too.
Let me get this shit straight. I had to take off a quick break. Life was doing its thing, but man left the thing in dismay. Back now, man, it ingrained. Working on couple mixtapes. Stream or dismay. Physical stuff I run in this day. When I'm in the place, scare them wine and wiggle them waist. Grab the mixer and chase. Grab the Rizzler and blaze. When I'm in the place, scare them wine and wiggle them waist. Grab the mixer and chase. Grab the Rizzler and blaze. Murder's the case. Enjoy the ride and breeze. I see where they try and raise. Can't man have the side face. That's why on a man try and take anything we try and make. And then they try and snake. That's the shit I don't like, it's fake. I'm not a man to slide away. I've been trying to mind my way. Keep an eye on the things I eat, cause it can't be good for my spleen. But I'm gorging night and day. Everything's moorish, I must say. I'm not a man to try and waste people's energy for minor games. Cause time is precious. The songs I write on my diary, some of the tunes that might be letters. That's why they're slightly jealous. Cause these man only write about brothers. When I know about them style, you lot give me thoughts of a reptile. I'm a part of a different percentile. Let me get this shit straight. I had to take off a quick break. Life was doing its thing, but man left the thing in dismay. Back now, man, it ingrained. Working on couple mixtapes. Stream or dismay. Physical stuff I run in this day. When I'm in the place, scare them wine and wiggle them waist. Grab the mixer and chase. Grab the Rizzler and blaze. When I'm in the place, scare them wine and wiggle them waist. Grab the mixer and chase. Grab the Rizzler and... Ooh, I weren't ignoring you, babes. I just had to talk to my mates. Business thoughts every day. I have thoughts of walking away. Ooh, that sounds awfully. Censorship, I'm talking to Craig. David told me to wait. Don't rush what you're going to say. Try and make sense of your day. Don't be forgetting to pray. Then you'll be ready to spray. Also remember to play. Talking clothes on the court. They don't need to know what we do. Coach Carter's talking to you, and that's an order you fool. Can tell you were awful in school, but I know same boredom's a tool. That they're using class to decrease the success of all of the youth. Conspiracy all in the room, don't know the revolution won't be televised, but choose to bank with Revolut. Mine says today you left us a shoot.
What the fuck? Holy shit. Wow. Fonzie fucking slid on that, my friends. Holy shit. My god. My fucking god. Well done. Well done. Quite the return from Fonzie here, man. Quite the fucking return. Holy shit. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So we're gonna talk about three things here. We're talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Wine and Wiggle. So, instrumental, love the choice. You know, a very Fonzie type instrumental, but also a very party move, kind of like good time instrumental, right? Even a very like summer sort of feeling instrumental for sure. So, love the choice. Instrumental mix is fantastic, especially with everything going on in it, right? Like a lot of the smaller sounds, fantastic. You know what I mean? Levels are good, quality was good. Nothing that I would like really tweak out about. You know what I mean? Definitely like right where it needs to be for sure. So instrumental mix very much solid for sure. Instrumental shining star. Well, the melodies are definitely up there, but if I'm being honest, I think drums kind of take the cake for sure. Like the 808s, like especially like the 808 slides are just fucking gnarly. You know what I mean? Like really, really gnarly. So, I think drums take the cake here for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, really solid as well, especially for Fonzie. They have a very consistent vocal mix, you know, and for their style, they keep it clean, crisp, clear. You know what I mean? Right where it needs to be. So nothing I would like really tweak out about when it comes down to the vocal mix either. The vocal mix is definitely solid. Vocal shining star. Wow. This one's kind of tough, right? Because writing and lyrics are up there for sure, but flow and cadence and delivery definitely is up there. You could kind of argue either one of those, but I think writing and lyrics, especially like the last couple verses, are fucking nuts. You know what I mean? Like really fucking nuts. So, let's go writing and lyrics on this one for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics, love this one. It's a very party kind of like vibe with this one. So like the neon theme is great. Fonzie Spleen Eye, Wine and Wiggle down bottom, and definitely has a good like neon club sort of vibe going on. You know what I mean? Perfect for a single, but even perfect for a sort of more of a club dance sort of vibe. You know what I mean? Very much nightlife sort of vibe. But overall theme, kind of like I said, a very much party, get up and go, easy, like get the party going, like play it on a Saturday night, has a good summer feel to it. You know what I mean? Like Fonzie did really good with this, and kind of like bringing up the mood. You know what I mean? And really releasing something that anybody can really get behind. You know, makes you want to just get up and go. You know, so I think Fonzie did a really good job, kind of like creating those good like summer vibes here for sure. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to homie Spleen Eye and Fonzie. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Fonzie on Bandcamp, and of course, make sure you go follow Fonzie on Twitter as well. We're only 9 followers away from 940, so make sure you go show him some love on the bird at my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 350 subscribers. We have 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz over there. Channel, so make sure you go artists on the channel some love, baby. Get it. You already have. Thank you. Appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So, we left off the homie Fonzie. Up next would be the homie Ghost, but we've already reacted to Ghost earlier in the show because they are a Music Mondays Patreon. So huge shout out to the homie Ghost. And if you want to see us react to some unreleased Ghosts, definitely go check out the beginning of episode 280. But following Ghost actually is the homie Offspring Mysterious, a multi-talented producer, writer, designer, engineer, editor, videographer, all the above. Just came through with a brand new YouTube upload, Walking Onslaught's Digital Art Adventures. I believe this is like episode 2. Because I think we did episode 1 last week, didn't we, right? Pretty sure we did. Let's take a peek here. Oh no, this is episode 7. Maybe we did episode 6 last week. I'm not sure. 22 hours ago, brand spanking new. W description. All the links per usual. Excellent. Excellent. All right, let's get into it. Offspring of Sirius, Walking Onslaught's Digital Art Adventures, Episode 7, Creatures of Harmony. Classic Offspring banger here. Yo, we got Felipe. Let's get it, baby. Hope you're well. Welcome. That one's actually so gnarly. Also a gnarly one. That one's fucking crazy. I like that one too. Straight stepping. So many good shots here. That one's sick. That one's fucking sick. Absolutely crazy.
From that very first day, to see how you might grow, to see what you might do, to see what you've been through, and all the ways you've made me proud of you.
Temple's crazy too. Nailed it. Absolutely. What? That was crazy. That was definitely crazy. Well done. Absolutely fucking well done. Fantastic. You know, that's what I love about Offspring is their like creative ideas for certain shit is just so outside of the box. You know what I mean? Like truly so outside of the box. But this is a more of a simple concept that I think almost any designer can, right? Like any designer like can use this formula and kind of show off like recent pieces and commissions and things like that. So I feel like the shining star here is the concepts. I like the fact that Offspring kind of like puts together all their pieces into one video, and it's almost like a scrapbook or more of a book, sort of like visually, right? A visual book, as you could probably say, right? So I think the concept is fantastic, and I think any designer could find some use out of a style like this. You know what I mean? So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Offspring Mysterious. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go sub to Offspring's YouTube channel over here. They're only 9 subs away from 270, so make sure you go show them some love on the tube. And of course, make sure you go follow Offspring Mysterious on Twitter as well. They're only 4 followers away from 810, so make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 350 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and all the good jazz over there. Channel. Make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So, we left off the homie Offspring Mysterious. Up next would be the homie Jordan, but Jordan is a Music Mondays Patreon, so make sure you go show Jordan some love, and make sure you go check out Jordan's submission at the beginning of episode 280. Let's get it. And of course, our last submission of the night is the homie Offspring, or no, the homie Most Dope Kimon, actually. Kimon coming through with their project Lovely again. I believe we did the first track from the project. But yeah, Kimon's 2026 has just been fucking stellar. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely fucking stellar. From collabs to music videos to singles to their own projects. Like, they've been working their ass off, for sure. But let's go see what track 2 looks like off of their recent project, Lovely. Alright, yes, so we did Little Brother, and then now we're going to do track 2, I don't even really give no fucks. I don't think we reacted to this one yet. No, I don't think we did. I feel like there was a video for this, though. Maybe I'm tripping, but, well, let's see here. So this is track 2. Track 2, from Lovely. I don't even really give no fucks. Let's get into it.
Telling you, I don't really get no fucks. fuck the bikers. I don't even do the West deal, I swear it's played out. I don't even want to get in her mouth, I swear she played out. These niggas pussy hell, got my 30 gon' play him out. Tell my game over, better not come up with drunk. Bitch, I need my whole soul. Yeah, bitch, this is the Ringo, I went Range Rover. Bad devil, your partner for that little chain, oh yeah, that's a hoe. Yeah, I'm up to school right now with my gang and them. Yeah, I'm sipping on me right now, can I get the cup? Bitch, don't try your luck, this thing on me, you better not fuck it. I don't really get no fucks here, I don't really get no fucks here.
Oh, this one's so catchy,
I
dude.
don't really get no fucks at all. I'm telling you, I don't really get no fucks at all. Whoa, yeah, I don't really get no fucks at all. Okay, yeah, I don't really get no. Let's go. I get away.
Wow. Yep. That's 2 for 2 on Lovely, man. 2 bangers, a back-to-back. Track 1 and 2 are definitely fucking insane, okay? But this one is so catchy. Like, halfway through the track, I realized that this was already stuck in my head. I was like, oh, shit, you know what I mean? Like, Keyboard really slid on this one. But, let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about 3 things here. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of I don't even really give no fucks. I mean, relatively obvious theme, right? But we're still gonna talk about it. So instrumental, again, love the choice. Kimon usually works with a lot of the same producers, so they sort of know his flavor and style by now. But again, I just love the choice. It's a very Kimon instrumental, flashy, banging, starts off hot, you know what I mean? Fast pace in your face, so love the choice. Instrumental mix, again, per usual, extremely solid. Sound selection's great, levels are good, quality was good, Kimon sounds good on it. So nothing I would like really switch up there either, you know what I mean? Let's see, so instrumental mix fantastic. Instrumental shining star. Man, it's got to be the drums. The drums are just so fast paced. You know what I mean? Like the drums are just really, really fucking fast paced. So I think like the sound selection and like the overall patterns of the drums, fantastic. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Let's talk vocals. So, vocal mix. So let's break down the vocal mix. Okay, so per usual, Kimon again being an artist who has a very, very consistent vocal mix, fantastic. You know what I mean? Nothing like super clashy to overbearing or anything that I would switch up your vocals. Kimon definitely has a more melodic style sometimes as well, so you have to watch that. You know, you have to make sure levels are good, quality was good, but vocals sit nice on the instrumental. I think everything to do with the vocals on the instrumental is fantastic. You know what I mean? Fantastic per usual. Again, Kimon having a very consistent vocal mix. You know what I mean? So, vocal mix solid. Vocal shining star. I want to say the hook, but the flow and cadence in general is really solid. You know what I mean? I think the flow and cadence in general is really, really fucking solid. So, I think flow and cadence and delivery for me, but you could argue writing lyrics for sure, but definitely flow and cadence and delivery. So, instrumental solid. Definitely the drums. Vocal solid. Definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. Love this cover. Simple, straight to the point, but also gives a good album vibe, right? You just like do a few tweaking edits and, you know, you just kind of spruce it up a little bit and it looks fantastic. And Kimon does that really well. You know what I mean? We've seen him do that time and time again where they'll just take regular like off-guard shots and make really fucking sick covers out of them. You know what I mean? Like really fucking sick covers. So aesthetics definitely on point. Definitely has an album vibe for me. Overall theme, I don't even really give no fucks. I mean, relatively obvious theme, right? I just came on it, you know, kind of explaining how I don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? But in a few different ways. But also, Kimon came up with like one of these more simple hooks that gets just caught in your head super fucking fast. You know what I mean? And Kimon does that really well, just because of their style. You know what I mean? And how they record and write and kind of like visualize their lyrics. So, for me, this is one of the ones where it was simple but straight to the point, and I think Kimon does these really well. You know what I mean? Like really, really fucking well. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Most Dope Kimon. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you go follow Kimon on Spotify, and of course, make sure you go follow Kimon on Twitter as well. They're only $9 away from 40, so make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 350 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good chats over there on the channel. Make sure you show these ours and show some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. So, that does conclude all of our artists for episode 280. So let's show some love, give some shout outs, let's close it out, and let's do all that fun stuff, my friends. So, per usual, first off, huge shout out to anybody in the chat that came through and chilled, my friends. I appreciate you. Huge shout out to everybody, man. We had a busy night tonight. You guys are fucking wonderful, man. Huge shout out to, man, let's go through the list. Huge shout out to Candela, huge shout out to TDG, huge shout out to Bird, huge shout out to Ghost for coming through, huge shout out to Philippe. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. And even if you just lurked and chilled, man, I appreciate you. Even if you just weren't even chatting, much love, my friends. Thank you. And huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays patrons. Huge shout out to the homie Jordan, Laverius, Riki, Ghost, TDG, Gale Planet, and the homie Candela. Thank you guys so much for your support over there on Patreon. Much love. I know it came as soon as an ending, right? Yeah, no, for sure. It's all good, my friend. It's all good. Hopefully you can catch the next one. Every single Monday, my friend. Every single Monday. No worries. I appreciate you coming through, though. Huge shout out to everybody that did submit tonight. Huge shout out to Candela Brown. Huge shout out to TDG, Sam's Raps, the homie Fonzie, Ghost, Offspring of Sirius, Jordan, and Most Dope came on. You guys are fucking wonderful. Thank you for all of your submissions tonight. You guys are fucking wonderful individuals. Thank you. And again, per usual, you guys know the drill. If you want to submit for next week's show, submissions will be live on all of our social media tomorrow, June 9th, 2026. Then, of course, make sure you follow us on social media and stay up to date with all of our recent updates and all the good stuff that's happening on Music Mondays, at All Music Mondays, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Threads, Blue Sky, wherever you're at, we are at. So make sure you go give us a follow. And of course, you can stream all the Music Mondays podcast episodes on anchor.fm/allmusicmondays. Over 270 episodes are available on all audio platforms. And then, of course, you can find this episode tonight on the Music Mondays Patreon. And you can find it this Thursday on all audio platforms. And then this Saturday on our YouTube channel. And of course, make sure you follow the channel because I stream 5 to 6 days a week. We're always doing speedrunning stuff, watch party stuff. And of course, this is the home of the Music Mondays podcast every single Monday. Make sure you follow the kid. Follow, subscribe below. Everything linked below. All my socials. All the Music Monday stuff is linked down below as well, per usual. So I'll be live tomorrow for a regular stream. Then we'll be live next Monday for episode 280 of the Music Mondays podcast. I love y'all. Take care. Be safe. It's your boy Slays, and we'll see you next time on the Music Mondays podcast, baby. Let's get it.